still going sport. I always leave it in sport. See the paddles responsiveness on the downshifts. It's not bad at all. But it's not smooth, that's for sure. The upshifts, on the other hand, are a whole other thing. It's not even worth using the paddles with this. It's just so slow to respond. Just leave it in sport and let it drive and shift for you. I mean, if you want to use the paddles, go right ahead. If you're looking for a nice looking car that drives real good, I mean, this is definitely a really good car. Very good on gas. The gas mileage is really good. Right now it's not getting great because it's just the end of we're finishing off the winter. And it's still pretty cold, so we do let the car run quite often before taking off. But I am feeling like, I'm going to put the dome light on here just in case you guys can't see anything. I am feeling kind of like a little shudder. I'm not sure what that is. I have driven this before. This is the girlfriend's car, so I don't drive it often, and I don't drive it hard, so I've never really noticed the shudder before, but I do feel a little bit of a vibration. I don't know if something's loose or it's just maybe the winter tires, if it's the road, but I feel it kind of in my butt while I'm driving, and I feel it in the steering wheel a little bit. It's very minimal. It's not like a crazy vibration, but we're definitely going to have to get it checked out. So again, there's the downshift response. It's pretty good. I mean, if you're in Sport Plus, it might be better. Let me see. Sport Plus. It's not much better. Sounds amazing. I love the sound of this thing. Like I said, we just leave it in sport. Economy's useless. I actually find it harder on gas when it's in economy mode, just because it's maybe if you're on a flat surface it might be better, but if you're going up a hill it's just bogging. So we leave it in sport. I find the sport gives you the best driving experience. I mean Sport Plus, but it just holds the gears too long. If you don't want to just hold your gears, sport is the way to go. Now, this is the Aspec package, so it does have a little bit sportier suspension, I believe, and it does have the 19s with the lower pro tires, so it doesn't drive very smooth. You do feel the cracks in the road, but it is still a very smooth driving car overall. Now, when it comes to performance, I am a 4 Gen TL owner. For those that don't know, I had the 6-speed manual. Even when I was stock, I had one of these as a loaner, and I was really not impressed with the performance compared to the 4 Gen. The auto, I can't really speak for it, but from what the audio owners are saying, they have pulled on TLX before. Now, when you talk to a TLX owner, they say they pull on the 4 Gen. So it all depends on which TLX you have. The front wheel drive with the PAWS is going to be a lot quicker than these. And I know it's a weight, but I feel like this is really sluggish with the all-wheel drive. Only certain gears does it work real good. I'd say about second gear is its best range, but after that, there's a delay. I'll show you guys here. There's a delay when you get around 120 kilometers, or I'd say around 75 miles an hour. When it shifts into that gear, here, I'm going to shut these dome lights off. So when it shifts, watch when it shifts. Right here. Actually, it seemed to pick up pretty good there, but sometimes I find when it shifts into fourth or third, it's around 120, so whenever that shifted, I believe it was into fourth. It does take a second before you see the RPM start going, so I'm not sure if it's what that is, but I usually notice it, but I didn't see it there, so it kind of defeats my whole purpose of what I was trying to prove there. These lights are amazing. My 4th gen does not have anywhere near as good as these lights. My brights aren't even as good as these daytime running lights, so these are definitely way better lights. Mind you, my lenses are pretty dirty, but even if I had like HID or LEDs, I don't think they'd be that bright. I can see a mile down the road. So I definitely want to get the jewel eye conversion into my 4th gen. So there's that I can do. So anyways, this is about the TLX here. So really good on gas, like I mentioned. When you're just cruising, you can, on the highway, doing the speed limit, in cruise control, you can get, I'm not sure what 10 liters per 100 is in miles per gallon, but it is very, very good on gas. Now, if you go here, you can, I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but it shows where the power is being sent to. So these are front-wheel drive bias, just like the 4th gen. So that's another reason why I believe it's so good on gas, because it's pretty much, when you're just cruising, it's sending 90% of the power to the front wheels. Now, under hard acceleration, I believe it sends up to 70% of the power to the rear wheels, and when you're in a turn, it can send 100% of the power to the outside rear tires. So, very good handling car in all conditions, in the turns, in the snow, rain, and it comes out of the turns amazing. But you do have to be on the throttle pretty aggressively to get the full effect of it in the turns. I always check to see how good it is on gas compared to my TL. And it is so much better on gas than my TL. Even when I'm in 6th gear cruising at 110 kilometers or 70 miles, I cannot get that good of gas mileage. Now, mind you, I am almost full bolt on now, so that probably has an effect, because I definitely was getting a lot better gas mileage before all my mods, and I think I just missed my turn. One thing I wish this thing had was somewhere to put your phone. If you're using Google Maps, I'm not sure if this has Android Auto. It might. I'm pretty sure it does. We just haven't connected it. But I now have nowhere to put my phone, so on the 4th gen, I can put it, they have a little compartment here that slides, and the phone just sits perfectly on top of the cup holders. This one, not so much. It's going to fall in your cup holders or fall over. So that's pretty much my only complaint with the whole cell phone thing. And it also does not fit in the door handles where I usually keep my cell phone on my TL. Hopefully this is a good video for a nighttime quality. In this area, we do not have a lot of street lights, as you can see here. We have a couple. But other than that, I mean, it's bright, nice and bright here. I wish it was like this everywhere, but... Okay, so this is in sport. I'm going to say when I'm going to floor it, and then you're going to see when it's going to downshift. So there's a slight delay, which can be fixed with Sprint Booster. So it's no big deal, really. Sprint Booster or K-Tuner, you should be able to fix it with K-Tuner, also with the drive-by-wire settings. So if you're getting K-Tuner, save yourself the money and just get that instead of both. You got to find that sweet spot. If you own one, you probably found it already, but there's a certain speed when you're just driving where it doesn't downshift to the right gear. I believe I'm going to try 120, because I think, actually I'm going to try 100 to show you the passing gear. And no, babe, I'm not driving your car hard. People do this to pass cars on the highway. So she doesn't want me driving her car hard, so I don't make much videos, but she's saying she just doesn't want me to launch it all the time. And, well, you don't really launch this anyways. It's pretty slow off the line because of the throttle response, but alright, so 100, put it to the floor now. See? And it only went to $4,000 about. That, like, if you put it to the floor at 100, as you see in there, it only downshifts to that gear where I'm revving around 4,200. Now, this is a VTEC engine, so if you're putting it to the floor and you want to hit a passing gear, you should be in VTEC, because it doesn't have anything till about $5,000. That's when it starts pulling good. So if I go 120, for example, which would be around 70, 75 miles an hour, and you're just cruising, and then you hit the passing gear at this speed, then you'll see the RPMs will downshift into a lot better RPM range. See, that's where your power should be when you hit the downshift normally. I know people want to see me race this in my TL, but let's be real. My TL's modded. It's a low 13 seconds. This is a low 14 second. A full second in the quarter mile is not a little difference. It's a pretty big difference. So it's really not worth the time. But I do want to get something or try to find someone. If I can get a stock Aspec auto TL SH all-wheel drive, then we'll run it against this. But I'm trying to find an Aspec to swap the kit. The one I was looking at sold, unfortunately, so right now there's not really a point to racing it. I would like to race it against, you know, maybe my buddy's WRX, but that's about it. It's a good daily driver. It's a girlfriend's car. It's under warranty. She doesn't want to mod it because, well, let's be real. Modding cars definitely decreases the life of everything. I do need a reliable daily driver because I am going to drive my manual really hard when I'm full bolt on tune. So it's going to break. I know that, especially when I'm trying to get in the 12s at the quarter mile. So I am looking at the TLX, but I don't know. With the 9-speed, I don't think it's worth it, to be honest. It is still a good car, but I am leaning more towards the IS350. Now, I don't want a big car payment because the TL is going to be paid off in May. I just want to keep it. I'd like to save a couple $100 or even more a month than what I was paying on the TL. So we'll see. There's so many nice cars out there. You don't know which one to get. Like Infinitis are a really good bang for your buck. Acuras. Lexus. I like them all. Obviously, Lexus is going to be top-notch reliability. And I would also like to see how the IS350 stacks up against this. They're pretty similar, but I love that IS350 Sport so much, so we'll see. But all in all, the tech on this car is great. I love that ambient lighting so much, and I love the gauges. The only thing is this auto off-start button here, so you gotta press that down to shut it off, and it is shut off right now, and you will get the orange light. So once you shut off that light, or once you shut off the auto stop, you're gonna get that orange light on in the dash at all times. I mean, this thing is more of like a first gear, like